What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Sorry I was gone for a week there, needed to take a little break. But today I wanted to go over why you should upgrade your front axle on your Jeep Wrangler JK or JKU. This is super important if you're gonna be running bigger tires or doing some mild off-roading with some bigger tires. So this is definitely something to look into as a very, very important upgrade on your Jeep. So let's get it going, guys. All right, so most of the Jeep Wrangler JK and JKUs, or really anything besides a Rubicon, comes with a front axle of a Dana 30. Now the Dana 30 is fine for around 33-inch tires, sometimes 35s. I ran 35s on mine for a long while, didn't have any issues, but I would say anything higher than 35s, you need to upgrade that front axle. Now, why you need to do that is because the Dana 30 has super thin and super just not very good tubing on it. So basically the whole axle itself is just kind of skinny, thin-walled. It's just not a very strong axle for bigger tires like that. So that's not what it's built for. It wasn't made for that. Jeep pretty much threw the cheapest, skinniest thing they could get on here, threw it on there because they probably knew that Jeep people were gonna destroy it anyway. So also the gearing on a Dana 30, the gears are super, super, super tiny. So you really can't get much strength out of it. And the higher gear ratio you go up to, so let's say you're on a 538, that makes it even weaker. So you're just making it even weaker if you have to re-gear anything. So that really sucks with the Dana 30. Another thing to discuss is the C's. So I have the Ultimate Dana 44, so my C's are way thicker. But the Dana 30 C's there at the end of the axle are super, super tiny. So they're like half the size of that right there, about half of that size. So they're not made for holding bigger tires all the time. They are known to bend on the Dana 30 unless you gusset them. So the gussets are super cheap, but you have to find someone to weld them. So if you're looking to strengthen your Dana 30, it is possible, but it can only be so strong for being a Dana 30. So I'm not one to bash the Dana 30 because I know a lot of people cannot afford a new axle, and you can make it a while on a Dana 30. I ran myself 37s on a Dana 30 for, it was probably about 6 to 7 months, and I was wheeling at least once a month, sometimes twice a month. So I was wheeling a lot. And it was a little bit of a mix of rock crawling, there was a little bit of mud, pretty much everything. And I bent the housing on my axle. So I did end up bending it, which really sucked. You couldn't really tell except for the tires were wearing really weird. And then once I actually got down and actually looked at it, I could tell that the housing was bent. So it didn't take very long. And that axle was also gusseted and sleeved. So it was sleeved and gusseted already, that Dana 30. So if you get some really light 37s like the Milestar Patagonias, I'm sure you would be okay. But the heavier tires like the Cooper STT Pros, the Nittos, those are probably gonna put a lot more wear on the axle. So if you're looking to make your Dana 30 last a while, go with a super, super light 37 if you're gonna go to 37s, at least until you can afford an upgrade like I did. And if you watch this channel, you guys know I went with an Ultimate Dana 44. Now I've absolutely loved this axle. I have taken it off-road multiple different times with no issues. I opted to go with the 456 gearing as well as the electric locker. It was super easy to wire up with my S-Pod, so I have no complaints there. There were zero issues and they gave me plenty of wiring to work with. But it comes with a really nice and strong diff cover there. As you can tell, it has been bashed on rocks a lot. I also have bashed it with the aluminum tie rod here a little bit. But it comes with these really nice control arm skids here, which is awesome. Gives you that little added protection and peace of mind. Along with that, all the bracketry is a lot thicker than a stock axle is, so that's really nice as well. Another thing to look at is you also get chromoly axle shafts, so that is huge. That is a huge deal. These are super strong and they come with full circle clips. So the half circle clips can come off pretty easily. Full circle, they're locked in, they're good, gives you a little bit extra confidence. Now another thing too is the tubing on this here, the axle tubes, are actually sleeved. From the way I read it, they're thicker, but it's basically just like they're sleeved. So these are also stronger, so that's pretty good as well. And as you can see here, the bracketry is super thick. I don't know the exact measurement on this, but I'll tell you, it is a ton beefier than what the stock Dana 30 was. That is for dang sure. And another thing that's nice about going with a Dana Ultimate axle, whether it be a 44 or a 60, is it comes with the Dana gears, which the Dana gears are super nice. I've heard a lot of good things about them. I had never heard anything about it before I got this axle, but Dana gearing is apparently pretty dang good, a lot stronger than some of the aftermarket companies out there. So I'm really happy I went with the Dana 44. I really am happy I went with it. I have zero complaints, and it's been a great axle so far, as well as a super easy install. Did this all in the garage myself. It took me about an afternoon to get everything hooked up, lockers wired, all of that. And I was on the road the next day. So it was a super easy install. The shipping was pretty fast. I mentioned it in another video. I got it from skinnypedalracing.com, which had a great deal on them at the time, and it shipped within 3 days. So it does ship in a crate, so it's freight shipping. I didn't have to pay anything for it, but some websites do require you to pay for that, so that's something to look into as well. Now, as much as I love the Ultimate Dana 44, there are a couple other good options as well. So the Dynatrack 44, or the Pro Rock 44, is absolutely fantastic as well. It is more expensive than the Ultimate Dana 44, depending on when you buy it. So this Ultimate 44, I paid right around, I think it was 3,500 bucks for it, shipped to my door. I do know that the cheapest Pro Rock 44 I could get, the cheapest configuration, was right around $4,000 to $4,200. So it was more expensive. I thought the Ultimate 44 was pretty much all I needed. I was really happy with it. You can also jump into like the Ultimate 60, which is in a whole different price range. You're talking 8-9 grand, probably more. So that's something to look into as well. If you're going to be running 40s, you know, anything bigger than that, and hard wheeling, I would definitely recommend to get an Ultimate 60 or the Pro Rock 60. So definitely something to consider. If you're gonna be doing hard wheeling, you probably already know this. I don't need to tell you that you need a thicker, bigger axle. So I'm happy with the 44. The Dynatrack 44 does have thicker tubing on it, so that's also a stronger option than this one. But I believe that comes in at like 4,800 minimum, so you're also looking at more money. You also have the Curry 44 axle. So Curry makes really good axles as well. So there's a lot of good companies out there. I'm really happy with my choice. The Ultimate 44 has been great, and I have beat the crap out of it. So it has been proven, at least in my opinion. I'm not a super hard wheeler, but I do like to test my limits every time I go out. So very happy with the axle. I would recommend anybody to go with an Ultimate 44, especially with the pricing. The value is just outrageous, especially if you get it on a sale. Right before I bought it, I believe it was at 3,200 bucks. So it's just went up since, you know, all this COVID stuff happened. But it's a great option, great value. You can get it on pretty much any of the off-road websites. So that's really nice as well. All right, guys, so that's gonna wrap this one up today. I just wanted to go over that because I've gotten a lot of questions on the front axle and what you should go with and all that stuff. And I didn't throw all the money I could at it because I'm fresh out of college, you know, still I make good money, but I'm not looking to put all that into a Jeep. So I was very happy with my choice. I may go with a 60 eventually if I get into some really hardcore wheeling, but right now I'm happy with my moderate wheeling, you know, once or twice a month. So if you're looking to do what I'm doing, I'm very happy with this axle running 37s. It does an absolutely great job. And I truly believe this would hold up to pretty much anything I would throw at it with what the setup I have now is. Now, I'm probably wrong on that, but I trust this axle with the reinforced C's, with the sleeve tube, with the tubes, with the thicker bracketry, the awesome gears on there from Dana, and the electric locker. I'm very happy with my choice, and it's a very strong setup. So I'd highly recommend it to anyone. If you guys have any questions, drop them down below in the comment section. Please like and subscribe for more Jeep and off-road content. I got a video coming next week for you guys that I think you're gonna like. Thanks so much for watching, guys.